Hello, my name is Sekit. We're playing Fear Not the Night, and I shut off the auto input and auto output on the pulverizer and the redstone furnace so we could just get some dust. We need to grind up we need some iron dust, we need some nickel dust, because we need to make some invar. The reason we need to make some invar is because we want to make an induction smelter. Here we go. And it's going to take 2 Invar gears. Invar is an alloy that we can make with the induction smelter, but we can also make a blend of it just with iron dust and nickel dust, 2 iron to 1 nickel ratio. And then we can go ahead and pop this in here and turn our inputs and outputs back on. We'll be ready in a minute. Alright, we got our Invar, we can make our gears, and we can make our induction smelter. Now we got a couple slots here that we can put things in, and we can make a number of alloys. Notably, we could take, let's see, a 1-to-1 ratio of zinc and copper, and finally get ourselves a hold of, what is it, brass or bronze? I think it's brass. It's brass. We can set an output. It should go right into our chest. Nice. Now we're going to be building a contraption, and in addition to some brass to make some things, we're going to need a clutch. What this will do, basically, is allow you to turn things on and off using redstone. Another thing we're going to need is a number of linear chassis. We can use these. I think that'll be enough. We can use these to connect a contraption together, more or less. I'll show you what I mean. And it will transfer redstone force. But we're going to get to a place where we need some plates pretty soon. So we're going to make one of these depots, and where's the other thing we need? We need a mechanical press, so that's going to take a block of iron, and here we go, we'll take it outside. Now the press works a little differently than the millstone. It still takes rotational force, but you can see it's like got kind of a shaft going through it, and that's what you want. We're going to put this depot under it, and we're going to put a bunch of brass down. It's going to start stomping them into plates. While it's doing that, got a lever here. You can see this thing spinning. We can turn it right off. Pretty cool. We're going to want linear chassis. Let's get up here a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And you can see they have a connected texture as we extend them out. We're going to want to be able to flip these around in certain directions. Let's see if our crescent hammer will work. Alright, you know what? We need the create wrench anyway, so we're going to smash up some gold too, so we can get the gold sheets. Now these should be, you should be able to use the thermal ones interchangeably with everything, thanks to the thermal create integration mod, which is pretty cool. Alright, here's our wrench. Very nice. We'll be able to do a couple of things with this, but first of all, let's see if we can get this turned around proper. We gotta do it from the top. There we go. Now, let's see, how do we do this? Yes, that's it. We can hold down, click, and then use the mouse wheel to get into this GUI. We're gonna want all of the sticky sides to be turned down to 1. That's how many blocks out we will be able to attach things and translate rotational force. It's the same on all the sides. I'm going to need some more of these up here. Alright, that ought to do it. Do what, you ask? This whole thing's gonna spin, and then we're gonna attach stuff to it. Maybe? Maybe not? Okay, we may need some super glue. So we're gonna run out here and pick up some wheat. Now we're actually gonna get some use out of our millstone. We can just cue all those in there. And we'll start grinding, right? Yep. Alright, this thing is cooking up wheat flour for us. Now we can boil this up into the pot into some dough. And while we're waiting, we can take these lime petals, turn them into lime dye. This will give us some dough that we can make bread with, or, ooh, Easter egg. Or we could get some slime. And with the slime, we'll need an iron plate. We can get a little bit of super glue. I try not to use too much. I think the super glue, when the contraption isn't moving, it's laggy. It seems that way anyway. That's the point of using the chassis. I think we'll just have to super glue just a little bit of this together. There we go. Let's hop on up here. First position selected. Click again to confirm. First position selected. Click again to confirm. Okay. Still not doing it. Okay, I know what I've been forgetting. I've been forgetting the mechanical bearing. I just saw it. Here we go. We'll just need some slabs, right? And windmill bearing, mechanical bearing. There we go. This will actually translate some rotational force onto a contraption. We can take it up here, put it right down, let's turn it off. Let's get some chassis down, turn this thing around. Okay, I think I super glued the contraption to the ground. So that's the end of that world. I decided to build the frame out of this place, frame of this place out of witch hazel, and I am regretting my life choices. Sapling rates on these are not what they could be. It's like 0 to 2, weighted towards the 0. Anyway, I'm gonna have to get some more of that stuff. While I was replacing infrastructure down here, I was reminded that villager patrols are still a thing. I don't have any cows, so we'll have to be careful not to go into any villages for a while. We got the bad omen. How long do we have it for? Good 100 minutes, just like old times. Anyway, we're getting ready to start the create stuff again, but I'm reminded of the importance of getting some doors and stuff in here, because they just like, I just heard him behind me, and then he was pitching axes. Alright. Pretty ugly, but we got it going. Should get a world backup in a second here. I just reloaded. I don't see it. I'm using a different backup mod. I might make a manual one before we try this. Okay, let's see what happens here. First with movement mode. Always place when stopped. Only place near initial angle. Only place when anchor destroyed. Okay, so I think that's fine. Here we go. Now it doesn't seem like it's doing anything, which I guess isn't too surprising. we don't have anything on it. Now I think if we just put this on it, we'll crash the game. Okay. Strike a light. It was literally the Starlight mod, actually. I guess Starlight and Create don't seem to work well together, so I'll be uploading a new version of the pack like right now, because we can't be having with that. Now I'm trying to avoid as much thrilling notepad content as possible, but just in case you're wondering what was going on there, you could see that it was Starlight largely up here where the errors were. And if you come down, I don't understand half of this stuff, but if you come down to some of this stuff here, like it just keeps mentioning Starlight, and there's a detailed error. Yeah, here we go. So you could see the suspected mods. I wasn't about to remove Create, but you know, Starlight could probably go, and go it has. Now we got no problem. You can really see the difference in speed here without all those cogwheels I had on the last one. And of course I wanted to test and make sure that we're not gonna crash with the shaders on too. I'm gonna just keep making a mess out here that I'm gonna have to clean up later. Oh, we don't have anything on it. Well, turn it off real quick. Piece of cobblestone back on there. Yeah. Definitely Starlight. It's too bad. I like what Starlight does, but, you know, Create does a lot of stuff content-wise, and we have other performance-enhancing mods, so everything seems fine with the shaders. Nothing's too weird, so let's get ourselves some more vertical chassis. This is the plural of chassis, or is it chassis? Are they spelled differently? These questions and more on how are words pronounced with second. Alright, whoops. Now we're actually running out of andesite, so we'll have to go mining, so we're probably going to be wrapping this one up soon. Come on. There we go. That's what we want. Now, I believe that we can manage this whole thing without resort to super glue. I try to use as little super glue as possible. Also as little slime as possible. Because at least, and I may have said this already, it's been such a confusion with all the crashes and starting a new world and then finding out just then that I didn't really need to. Yeah, that's one thing. If your world crashed because of the Create thing, or the Starlight thing, I really should say, and now it won't load, it should load now. Mine did, yours should too. Let's get this. I'm really bad at spinning these things around, in case you haven't noticed. So, whoops. So, no slime balls yet, right? No super glue. We haven't even made it in this world. But you can see, because it's chassis, right, not just a string of blocks, they'll all move together. And with just a little bit of slime on the face, we'll have to pillar back up here. It's always like this when I'm making contraptions. It's horrifying what happens. So we could put some slime right here, right? Now, right now, these are all set to 8. So I could take, you know, a bunch of cobblestone here. Can I get it up there? Okay. Come over here and turn this on. And you can see it moves them. And these will transfer rotational force. So you can, you can attach deployers and whatever you want. We're going to put some some saws on it and make a tree farm. But that's probably going to have to wait until next time. So I know it's been a pretty weird episode, but they're probably going to be pretty weird at the beginning of this series as I figure out just what is wrong with this assemblage that I've put together and try to make it make a little more sense. So thanks so much for watching. If you've been playing the pack, please download Point 2. It is out, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.